Alright, so now, onto the Sandopolis zone after we leave the flying battery. And yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on here, especially these things that I am not particularly fond of, the scorpion monsters. If you get too close to them, their little spiked ball tail, it has the ability to stretch, and if you're not far away enough from them, they will hurt you. And then there's also these sand slides that you basically have to go down. Then there's also these little zip lines as well. They're used in a number of ways, primarily to get you down from somewhere high and get you to somewhere low. Plus you also have to push these stone blocks in order to go further. They open up they become little platforms, basically, as you saw. And yeah, as you saw, there's also those little trick robots. They don't damage you, but they can block your path. Okay. There we go, invincibility. And as you can see, I can jump up these little sand waterfalls. And I will not mind taking the bonus stage. Actually, I do mind. It's the slot machine again! Ah! This is not right. Go away, slot machine. Okay, so now you gotta move quickly here, else you're gonna get clipped by those sandworms. Yeah, talking like Gollum is really starting to affect me now. I'm thinking after this zone is over, I'm gonna take a quick time out. So jump up there before it goes down. Then go up here. And you get another special stage ring. And then there are instances where these sand slides will drop little platforms that you can jump on with, and that's the only way you can advance. And then there's the loop-de-loops. Be careful you don't fall on the spikes. Ugh. Alright, so another zip line. And this particular one goes from left to right. Now for another stone platform. Okay. Yeah, just take a nice quick time out, take the peaceful ride, and not get hit by the stretchy spiked ball tail of the scorpion. Ugh. Those things scare the crap out of me. They're my most hated enemy in this game. They really are. Oh my god, the slot machine again? Come on! I'm not kidding, slot machine. Piss off. I do not want to lose my rings when I have enough of them to become supersonic. This is getting annoying. So, yeah, here's the other demonstration of how the zipline works. In this instance, it just basically takes you straight down. Alright, it's time to push another block. Do I have the right timing? No, that platform wasn't going to come back to me quickly enough. So, yeah, here just bide your time. And now I have enough rings. Yeah, they have a lot of tricks in this place. Wow, another close call. Damn it. Yeah, like I said before, my impersonating of Gollum is really starting to haunt me now. But I really wanted to do it because this game is about rings. And of course, Gollum is from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I've only seen the Fellowship of the Ring though. I haven't seen... And another close call. So yeah, fine. I'll just use Supersonic and explain my experience with the Lord of the Rings. I've only seen the Fellowship of the Ring. I've never seen the Two Towers or the Return of the King because I just really wasn't that interested in the Lord of the Rings. I tried to get interested, but I don't know, I just never really got into it. So I've only seen the Fellowship of the Ring. And that's the only version of the trilogy that I've seen. I swear to God, Slot Machine, you're really starting to piss me off. You and your bad luck are not going to affect me here. telling you, these slot machines are out of control. So yeah, I've only seen the Fellowship of the Ring. The trilogy just doesn't really interest me that much. So we've made it to the end of Act 1, and this particular location... Now, obviously since this is Sandopolis, naturally we would have a pyramid to deal with. This one rises up out of the sand. And inside of it, we will get our mid-boss. Now, there are actually two ways you can go about doing this, but I'm going to show off the funnier version here with Sonic. So, you walk up to this big stone, and suddenly it grows limbs, and then when it pops its head out, knock it back once, then get close for it enough to grow limbs again, and then just stand here at the edge of this quicksand, because the only way you can eliminate this mid-boss is by having him jump into the quicksand. That's the only way. You can jump into him as much as you want, and you can never really damage him. The only way he'll die is by jumping into the quicksand. So, yeah. Patience, young Padawan! Patience must you have! Yeah, now I'm actually doing Yoda, as I have this thing jump over me and land in the quicksand. Yeah, that's the funnier way to kill him. I'll show off the way that Clement J642 did it when I do the Knuckles playthrough. He has his own method, but I find mine funnier. His is more direct, though. So now we go into the pyramid. So now we go into this dark place, and you want to pull on these switches. They open up the lights for you, but the lights dim over time, so that'll become important later, and I'll show why. And there are also these black little switches that you have to push on in order to clear a path for yourself here. Got a lightning shield. Now I push on this little switch. Pull on that one. Yeah, a lot of pushing and pulling in this particular Act 2. Now here's why the light situation is so important. You're forced to land on that capsule, and I don't know if you quite caught it, but a whole bunch of ghosts came out of that capsule, and these ghosts will continue to haunt you for the remainder of Act 2 until you get to Eggman. So now, just, if you have the lightning shield, you can use it to pull yourself up over this little sand slide. Then slide down the other side. Boom, 50 rings. Another special stage area. Now, if you've ever played Sonic 1, you might be familiar with Act 3, where you just keep falling until you go into a particular situation where you break the chain. And thank God, finally, my favorite shows up again after a long absence. So yeah, if you've ever played the Act 3 of the Labyrinth Zone, that's what I'm thinking of. Act 3 of the Labyrinth Zone, you just keep descending until you find a particular switch that you use to break the chain. And so, yeah, that's basically a similar concept. So you just switch slides there and it gets you to where you need to be. Otherwise, you just keep descending and descending. Yeah, I got 3 1-ups out of this particular shot at that bonus stage. That's why I prefer it more, because you can get so many lives and so many rings so fast. So now now I can really demonstrate what these little sliding switches do. If you take too long, they'll close the gate. The gate closes gradually, and you have to make sure that you avoid getting stuck and you have to go back the way you came. Alright, here's another demonstration. Alright, pull on the switch to keep the light flow in here going steadily. Get past those platforms. And then, yeah, that one is a ceiling flare. Oh crap! Okay, that could have been a problem. I would have had to have gone all the way back. And I did not want to do that. So now I have Supersonic again. Ah, crap. Couldn't get this bonus stage again. So, gonna have to push on this switch here to gain access to the next location. Wait for the spikes to go by, and then away we go. Well, you know what? I'm gonna push on the switch again. I'm gonna demonstrate what happens when the lights go completely out. Because when the lights go completely out, there'll be 3 ghosts, and they'll actually turn feral and start attacking you. So I intentionally avoided that switch to demonstrate this. So yeah, now we have 3 ghosts, and they're gonna, within a few moments, start to turn feral and attack you. So hopefully we can demonstrate that. Yeah, okay, now the ghosts are starting to attack me. And no matter how many you destroy, they just keep coming back, so... If you haven't pulled the switch by this time, well, you better hope you have either supersonic or a shield on you. And you also notice that when I hit that switch, it's going to cause sand to rise up, and you need the sand to get you higher and further into Act 2. I always prefer to stay to the left here, just to play it safe. And we have to move quickly to make this transition because you gotta push on this switch as the sand's still climbing, and it will continue to climb. It'll just keep going like this. Then you gotta do it again. Alright, so this is about the point where the sand is gonna start to stop flowing. Come on, sand, where are you? Alright, so that's where the sand stops. Pull the switch. Now this one's gonna move particularly fast, so... Got it. And that one moves particularly fast, so you gotta be careful. Okay, so now... Pull on the switch again. Okay, now that particular wall right there, that is only an area that Knuckles can access. Sonic cannot access it. So let's go in here. Ah, good, it's my preference. Oh, I love my preference of those bonus stages. Because this one is so much more fun. If you're familiar with Sonic 3, you might be familiar with the one that gives you, it's like a gumball machine, and you just keep bouncing on the springs and you get all various sorts of random stuff. And that's pretty cool, but I much prefer this one. And if you're doing Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is the lock-on combination of this game, and that's what I like the most about this game, is that it was designed in such a way that you can combine other Sega Genesis games into it. And if you're using Sonic 3 and you combine it into Sonic and Knuckles, it becomes what was intended to be the full version of this game. It was Sonic 3, which was originally intended to be a combination of both Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, but the game was too big, so they split it up into 2 different games. And so, what happened was that not only could you do that, not only could you combine Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, you could also combine Sonic 2 with Sonic and Knuckles and play through Sonic 2 as Knuckles. But that version is much harder, and in fact, I've never even beaten Sonic the Hedgehog 2 as Knuckles, as I get to show off another special stage. But yeah, I've never beaten it because the fact that when you take on Knuckles' playthrough, it's just crazy that it's set up the way that it is, because whenever you hit Eggman with Knuckles, you can glitch right through him and you can land right on his arm or on his back, and that's an automatic death because in the last stage in Sonic 2, you never get any rings, so there's no way to save yourself from dying. Now this particular place, I'm going to demonstrate. This goes in a hurry if you have Supersonic. The way that he tries to protect himself, you just knock the facade off and boom, that's it. But yeah, my voice is getting better, so I don't think I'll need to take a break here. I'm gonna keep on going. But I gotta wonder, where are all these woodland creatures gonna go, and how are they gonna survive in the desert? But nonetheless, it's time to take a free fall!